Assalamualaikum. So today I will be discussing a new question of Gauss-Seidel method. So we will be following the same steps, but the difference only is of the values. So now I'm given these three equations. I'll write down these coefficients in this matrix and the right hand side constants in the other matrix. Then to find out x1, what I would do is I will take my equation 1, and from that equation 1 I will put x2 as 0 and x3 as 0. So I will get my x1 as 0.48. I will get my x1 as 0.48. Then I will find out x2 and x3. To find out x2 and x3, for finding out x2, what I would do is I will put x1's updated value, that is 0.48, and x3 as 0. x3 is 0 and x2 as 0.48. So I will get my x2 as minus 0.58. Minus 0.58. For finding out x3, what I would do is I will write down the updated value of x1 here and updated value of x2 here. Now my updated value of x1 is 0.48, 0.48, and updated x2 is minus 0.58. So I will write down minus 0.58. Then I will get my x3 as 0.39. 0.39. Now I will find out the second iterative value of x1, x2, and x3. What I have to do is I have to write down the updated value of x2 and updated value of x3. The updated value of x2 right now is minus 0.58, and the updated value of x3 is 0.39. So now I will get my x1 as 0.49. To find out x2, what I will do is I will write down the updated value of x1, that is 0.49, and x3 as 0.39. And I will get my x2 as minus 0.59. For finding out x3, we will be writing updated x1, that is 0.49, and updated x2, that is 0.59, minus 0.59. We will write it here, minus 0.59. And now our x3 will be 0.40. 0.40. Now we will be finding the third iterative value of x1, x2, and x3. We will write down the updated value of x2 and x3 here. The updated value of x2 is minus 0.59, and the updated value of x3 is 0.40. Now our x1 will be 0.5. For finding out x2, we will write our x1 as 0.5 and x3 as 0.40. So we will get our x2 as minus 0.6. Then we will be putting x1 and x2 here to find out our x3 here. Our x1 now is 0.5. So we will write 0.5 here, 0.5, and x2 is minus 0.6, minus 0.6. Our x3 will be 0.40. We have write down all these values. Now we will put them in our table. So our first iterative value for x1 is 0.48. For x2 is minus 0.58. And for x3 is 0.39. Now, second iteration is 0.49 minus 0.59 and 0.40. 0.40. It is 0.40 here. And here it is minus 0.6. And here it would be minus 0.5. So this is how we will get our values. Here I have named my Java program as Gauss-Seidel method. Then in the main method, I have used the same values as we discussed in our equation, in our question. So now what would happen is I have made a 2D array which has a 3 by 3 matrix stored in it, and each row is representing one equation. Then I have made an array constant and have stored the constants that are present on the right hand side of our equation. Then in the initial guess array, I have declared the initial values of our variables, the variables that are x1, x2, and x3. I have set my variable iteration as 3. Then I have called the method Gauss-Seidel. The parameters I have passed are coefficients, constants, initial guess, iterations. All these parameters are defined above. Then in the private string, in the private method, I have first stored the length, the size of my 2D array in the n variable. The first for loop will run 3 times. Then the second for loop will run over each equation of our system. And the third for loop will run over each variable in our equation. Then in the current solution, it will calculate the next value of the variable by dividing the updated sum by coefficients of variable in the current equation. And then we will print out our result. If I run my program, I will get the answers here. Iteration 1 values, then iteration 2 values, and then iteration 3 values. These values are same as we discussed manually. So this was all about Gauss-Seidel method. I hope you liked my video and you understood it. Thank you.